When we talk about medieval combat, I think stamina is the most important. It's a really unique sport where you have to wear like 30, even up to 40 kilo of the armor on yourself, and you have to be fully capable of fighting in it.
I wouldn't say I'm scared when I'm fighting. I would say that I have an adrenaline rush that helps me.
My name is Robert Szatecki. I'm doing medieval combat fighting for the last 18 years. And right now, I'm active fighter in many different competitions regarding mostly right now duels like 1v1 fights. I started as a part of learning how to fence, and actually I experienced that it's not only about the fencing, but it's really about medieval fighting.
My name is Agnieszka. I'm a medieval fighter, a duelist, and the current champion of Poland in the women's sword and shield category. I fight because it's fun, it's a challenge, I like history, so it's my passion.
It's a sport that combines different techniques and different fighting skills, which has a heritage in the medieval times. We are fighting with different kinds of the weapons. Usually it's sword and shield, but it can be an axe. It's a real weapon, so it's not some kind of a soft weapon. It's just really made of steel. On different tournaments, it can be either 1v1 fight, 5v5, 21 versus 21, or even 40 versus 40. So these are sometimes very huge battles.
Our goal is to score points, and you get points when you hit the opponent in the body. The only area that is not scored is groin and feet.
When you are fighting individual, you are using mostly sword and shield. In a group fight, you can choose whatever weapon you think that will be the most effective. So you are fighting as long as your opponent stands. When he falls down, the fight ends. So right now we'll start with putting our armor on. As you can see, we have already our leather shoes, historical one on us, and we'll start putting our armor from the bottom up. We start first with our black protection. So when you're in the armor, you can feel something completely different, something very unique in comparison with any other sports that exist in modern world. Now, when you're fighting any kinds of judo, karate, usually you're not wearing anything, you're just wearing your gloves and that's all. Here you have to have all the armor on yourself that has to be compatible with your body, so you can fight in it like it would be really a part of yourself.
I have my shoulder plates and leg plates made of titanium, actually, because it's much lighter.
Here is the main part of the armor for the bottom part. This is also a very important thing. It's called a leaf. It's protecting you from all side hits. The kind of the armor depends on the competition you're taking part in and the rules which obeys, because there are some tournaments where you can only hit with the sword, but there are some tournaments when you can kick, you can hit with your shield, and then usually your armor has to be much better protected.
If you are pain resistant, you can go with barely anything on you.
So right now I have my gum bezel on. As you can see, my protection on the right hand and the left hand is different, just because we'll be fighting with the shield. This is the clothes that I'm putting on me. It was used the same as the shield to be able to be identified on the battlefield. Most of the techniques you are using here are based on the historical information we are getting. Of course, in the historical fighting, the goal of the fight was to kill your enemy. Here we are not trying to do it. And fortunately, it never happened. But still, there are some techniques that are not allowed, like any thrusts, as it would be too dangerous. Still, all the techniques, the movements, the tempo, working with the distance is exactly the same, as actually here nothing changed. First hit on the right side of your head, above your head from the left side, and the hit to the leg. It's a hard question to tell you if I would be able to win with somebody from medieval ages, as I think that if we would apply our modern rules, then definitely I would have an advantage. But if we would talk about the techniques to be efficient on the battlefield, then probably I think I could find it very difficult to overcome my opponent.
Tak, lecimy!
When you're in the armor, you can feel that it's a very unique feeling because from the one side, you feel very well protected. You have full armor, full plate armor on yourself, and you know that actually you can be hit and you will not feel anything. On the other hand, you know that the opponent is not going to hit you softly. He's not using some kind of a fake weapon. It's a real steel weapon. It's just blunt. But of course, if you will be hit in a place where you don't have your armor, so you can imagine that it's just being hit with a steel weapon just on your body. So of course, usually it can break sometimes. It just happens it's really based on the quality of your armor and of course of the power of the hit in the same moment and the tempo.
When I fight, there is a difference between hits in the body and hits in the head. You don't feel and you don't hear the hits in the body mostly.
It's really about the sport like itself. So about being the best in it in different kinds of competition on different kind of the level, like the national level and of course the world level. There were a few people who actually reached me on the street and they told me that they know me from the tournaments, although I'm fighting in the armor most of the time. But of course, during the break, I'm taking my helmet off. And there are still a big number of fans in Poland that are aware of the key fighters and they are able to spot you on the street.